Now, longtime viewers know me as a fashion icon. I am well put together and have never been once described as greasy, wet, or looking like shit. Not once. A nice consistent beard, perfect teeth, a full head of luxurious hair, or in one word, gorgeous. And on a long enough timeline, the chances of a channel like me not reviewing a watch is about zero.
What's on the watch, Cook?
People notice my fine wrists and want to see hot shit timepieces on them. And those people are pretty cool because they don't focus too close to my moisturizing game or are just gosh darn polite. And on the wrist today is the 1918 Trench watch from small maker of bands and watches, Vario, out of Singapore. I'm going to be quite honest, I've resisted watches for years, don't know much about them or understand the sorts of people who like them. I have a watch already named iPhone that rarely leaves my person. That doesn't mean I need people in the comments to give me tips though, because I'm reading, watching videos, and asking lots of questions to Levin and Eugene, and I've even bought a Seiko off Eugene, so I didn't look like a total chump. And another thing you should know is, since I've written that last sentence, I bought a Vostok Amphibia, and it's on the slow boat. Oh, okay. I just bought a Seiko 5. Oh, all right, so let's dig into it, and if the comments aren't too mean and this gets some views, I might do a few more. Well, I bought some more watches, so I kind of have to review them now. I'm going to treat watches like I treat knives. I'm going to throw them right into the stump. Okay, they got to look cool first, and then I might nitpick some stuff as I have it, and I will overlook stuff if I love it. So Vario makes two automatic watches from the 1918 line, the Medic and the Trench, that retail for about $350. That evoke glorious memories of World War I. I chose the Trench over the Medic because while I do practice medicine as a side hobby, and I'm getting better at it, the Trench was a little more my style. Both the Medic and the Trench are automatic mechanical watches. That means they got gears and shit, and have the ability to self-wind if your body stays in motion long enough. Now the Medic has some extra marks for measuring pulse, and is based off the Seiko NH38A movement, and the third-party movement in the Trench is the Miyota 82S5 Gilt movement. It's G-I-L-T, not G-U-I-L-T. The second one is the thing you feel for watching a watch video. But Gilt means it's gold-colored variant of the Miyota 82S5. Now, some info online is unreliable on the 8000 series Miyota, saying there is no hand winding or hacking, but there is at least on this variant. Hacking is being able to stop the second hand to sync the time accurately. Now, this comes in handy for measuring how many seconds a mechanical watch movement loses every day for your YouTube channel. Fun fact, people who wear watches don't carry phones. There's a PDF link below from Miyota's website about this specific variation of the 8200 movement. Now let's look at the dimensions using the exhibition Caseback. There's a 37mm or 40mm case diameter dimension variant, and I chose the larger 40mm. I have shitty calipers, so keep this in mind. Now Vario says the 48mm lug-to-lug for the 40mm model. Not getting confusing here at all. I get 46.7. 20mm inside the lug. Of course, you see it here because I'm the presenter who reads their PowerPoint slides. The exhibition Caseback, for what it's worth, appears to be nearly the same thickness as a stainless steel one, so they should wear pretty much the same. Now, since the crown is in the 4 o'clock position here, the case diameter measured across the 9 and the 3 is still 40mm. Okay, you're going to be tested on this. Good talk. Now mine came with the Crazy Horse bun strap and the pass-through strap. Not made from dead horse, just regular green dead cow. You can go full bun, which is not my thing. You know, it's hard to pull off for the non-vest, Irish cap, twirly mustache crowd. And I believe I just described my brother. Who pulls it off? He pulls it off, okay? Now you can take the, I guess the bund, looks like a cummerbund. You can take the bun part off and use the band like this. However, the underside of the screws will dig into your wrist if you're going for a tighter fit because you're actually doing it wrong. This is how I wore it at first, and Levin lolled at me, which is Levin for stupid man. So I used the pass-through made from the Crazy Horse leather, which is pliable and comfortable, but not flimsy. It comes in a variety of colors and starts to break in easily and conforms to the wrist almost immediately. If you're looking for something that keeps its new appearance for longer, these straps are not it. The leather is designed to look distressed and pick up wear with minimal use. Now I have about a 7-inch wrist, and the buns can handle up to a 7.5-inch wrist if you have to bartend at the tent wedding. Now looking at the case, comes in brass or stainless steel, 316L stainless steel. Now brass reminds me of gold, and gold watches remind me of the only thing an old nudist would wear, besides his chain. I mean, there's nothing wrong with old nudists, I'm just old-fashioned and ashamed of my naked body. Now I chose the 316L stainless steel case with the optional exhibition caseback. If you look up Trent's watches, this is a pretty faithful recreation of the WW1 era watch, World War I. Elgin and Waltham seem to be two of the most popular manufacturers of those types of watches here in the US. I've read their Wikipedia pages. Now, no need for fucking with spring bars here, since the wire lugs are built right into the case like the original Trench watches. Although I will miss the ritual of a sore neck and looking for them in the carpet for 20 minutes. Now, the standard caseback, I've mentioned this before, is 316L stainless, and it has an engraved picture of a memory best described by your great-grandfather as something he really didn't want to talk about. My grandfather was World War II, but he still didn't want to talk about it either. I chose the exhibition caseback, so I had something else to put on video and look at while I'm avoiding reading emails. The Miyota movement over the course of a day, having synced it with the night before, lost about 3 to 4 seconds on the first day. Now at the 48-hour mark, we are only about a total of 5 or 6 seconds ahead on the Miyota movement versus the iPhone movement. 58 hours, we were still only about 6 seconds ahead total on the watch versus the iPhone. Now personally, I treat wristwatches as a way to get within a minute or two of the time and use the iPhone if I need it precise. A person had mentioned on Instagram if I found the particular Miyota movement noisy. And I'd say in a completely still environment where it's just the sound of you and your lunch working its way through your intestines, you can hear some light winding of the rotor, which is of course this part that spins. Now I rarely hear it though because I don't have a lot of peace and quiet in my life with work and kids at home, but it is less audible than the rustle of the sleeve of your dress shirt or your heartbeat during paragraph 3 of a per my last email. Now there are different dial color combos. I went with the orange letters and the cream dial face because that's the look I like the best. It looks vintage. The letters are a non-radioactive Swiss Lume C3. The orange letters are the part that shows up, and the little centers of the hands show up too. Now the orange Arabics, according to Vario, take longer to charge and aren't as intense. And to me, it just looks like a standard glow-in-the-dark material. Now, I've noticed personally in real use it will last the entire night. I've been sleeping while wearing it, and I am able to barely make out the hands and numerals. Sometimes in that low a light, it's hard to tell which is the minute hand and which is the hour hand. And the numbers kind of look like little blobs because it's that low. Now, here it is sitting next to the popular Seiko 5 and the SARV 001 model. I charged it with the flashlight and let it run about 10 minutes. My camera is set to an ISO that makes it a bit brighter than you'd see in real life, but all of these are visible throughout the night in a completely unlit room with night-adjusted eyes. It's just standard watch lume. But as far as the look of the dial itself, I'm particularly fond of it. I mean, maybe I could have went with the white and orange for a slightly better readability, but this is pretty good and I like this version better. The crystal here is a double-domed, shatter and scratch resistant sapphire with a little bit of curve to it and undercoated with a anti-reflective coating. You would expect that out of a watch that retails for the mid-300s. You know, just looking up Miyota movements on eBay, those are about $80 just for the movement alone. Now the crown is in the 4 o'clock position here and it's screw down. Doesn't seem to poke me in the wrist. I guess there are different opinions on crown location, but it's most convenient for winding or setting while on the wrist. For me, when it's at the 4 o'clock position. The user interface. There's a flashlight. Okay. Counterclockwise to unscrew. You know, doot, doot, doot. A few full turns, then you will feel it release and it pops out. Turning the other way, and then the winding engages. Pull it out further, and the second hand stops, and you set your minutes and hours. Click it back in, and the minutes and seconds start moving again, and then you screw it back in. Now, this has a reserve of 40 hours before you need to wind. I have wound it, but I really haven't needed to. The ape-like swinging of my arms as I walk and the moderately sedentary lifestyle I lead seems to keep it wound pretty well. The watch is water resistant to 10 ATM or 100 meters. That means water, rain, pee, or showering, I guess. You could swim with it, you know, according to the rating. I tend to not shower with the watch on. Southern California doesn't get much rain. And I don't walk in it when it does rain because I drive to work, to a parking garage. I'm not a surfer, and I'm not in the water in the winter, and it doesn't make much sense to get a strip of leather wet when you don't have to. Now, wrapping it up. I envision this is shorter, so I apologize to the viewers. I'm sorry for making videos. Now, I think this watch is pretty cool, and it's my first foray into modern mechanical watches on my body. But I do have some older quartzes from my youth hanging around, like this Nautica here. Levin hooked me up with Vario, and he is ultimately responsible for wherever this wine winds up. Oh, God. It's going to get old fast. For the past few weeks, all I've been doing is looking at watches, buying some, watching videos about them, and dreaming about them. You know, normal things. I have this Japanese market Seiko SARV001 from Eugene that I've been alternating on the wrist that I really like. I don't know if there's a better way to say SARV001, but, you know, I'm not really a watch guy. Now that one wears thicker and has a dressier look, but I think I prefer the Arabics instead of the baton indices for readability alone. There's your batoning, folks. Those little things are batons. The green strap might not be your thing, but you could dress it up by going with a white dial or a tan strap. You can get it in a blue strap. You can get all sorts of color straps. There's a website devoted to trench watches, and the guy who runs it seems to restore them and sells them on eBay. And he looks like he wrote a few books on trench watches too. This looks like those old watches, like quite a bit. And I have linked it below so you can do your own research on it. Levon kind of got me started a few months ago when he bought me a strap for a watch of my grandfather's, which you may have seen in an Instagram post. And if you've seen that watch, please let me know, because it was on my desk the last time I had it, and I looked all over for it. Vario provided this watch for review, so check out their website and follow them on Instagram. I will be reviewing some of the other watches I am buying in the coming months in between the regular bullshit I do. Now say hi to the patrons, because they're ultimately responsible for my mediocre 4K watch video, because that money goes directly into my financed camera and my financed iMac. So like, subscribe, comment, follow me on Instagram. Thanks for watching. Oh, God, we have fun around here, don't we? Make it stop. And to do that, you just pull the crown out halfway.